So now, Todd, I know that you talked at your big event last year, Sales Mastery, which I've enjoyed speaking at a couple of times in a row here now, about getting naked. Define getting naked in this context, not literally, I hope, but and how it can help someone go through these tough times.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting naked as a concept, and maybe a metaphor is really it's about brutal honesty. It's about transparency and authenticity with oneself. And I realized kind of early on through all this that getting naked for me would be accepting. Denial would get me nowhere. Blame would get me nowhere. Ownership, responsibility, and kind of a true grit, never die behavior is what I really needed. And, I could close my eyes to the pain, I could turn my back on the embarrassment, I could run away from the pressure, but that would have never gotten me through, any of the tough times. And so I had to get really honest with my reality quickly. And my advice to people listening to this is to understand that the faster you get naked, the faster you figuratively unzip your soul and ask yourself what's going on and how are you really interpreting this and what is what is the real turning point for you if you really do want to get through this. It has a lot to do with the brutal honesty of how it's impacting you. And so the honest truth I tell people is that tough times never last, but tough people do. So in an honest assessment, I mean, I had to, and everybody who's going through failure should, but I had to answer the question, Todd, how do you really see failure? And that's a huge question. So in preparing for today, I found it interesting. I was reading my journal yesterday, and I found an entry from June 2005 when I was in the midst of my first capital call. And here's what I wrote down. I said, in this tough time, I choose to see failure as a setup and not a setback. I choose to see failure as a lesson and not a liability. I choose to see failure as an experience and not an excuse. I choose to see failure as humorous, and Darren, I had to laugh so many times at some of the decisions that got me into trouble, but I wanted to distance myself from it, so I didn't see it as humiliating. I chose to see failure as a friend and not a foe. I chose to see it as an opportunity and not an obstacle. I love this one. I chose to see failure as a wing and not a weight. And then obviously, if you choose to see failure as positive and negative, it can change everything. So getting naked is about accepting where you're at and making sure that you have this honest conversation with yourself on how you're really, really viewing it, because I believe that view is either going to take you forward or it's going to shut you down. And so that's what getting naked is all about.